If you're a cult torture survivor like me, if you were tortured by organized cults, then you likely deal with mind control messages, programming. Um, One of the most basic core mind control messages that cults give is don't talk, because they don't want us telling people about the torture and possibly having it stop, right? They don't want to have no more access to us. And keeping the secrecy, keeping the silence is key to them continuing the torture and the rape and the murder and everything horrific that happens. And so the don't talk, they do it in so many ways, on so many levels. And for me, they did it with so many parts of me. But the way I got around it, part of it, so I took it literally. They said, like, don't talk. If you talk, we'll kill you. If you talk, we'll kill the people you love. And the way I got around that by taking it literally was writing it out and drawing it out, allowing parts of me to draw out memories, write out memories, show my therapist, and that helped. But I also do talk to the parts inside when I start to feel like, okay, so I can have parts yelling at me like, shut up, keep quiet, like you're saying too much, it's dangerous. Or I start feeling like I can't talk, like I literally can't talk. And there are parts of me who come forward into my body who can't talk because they took that mind control training, because that was their job. And when that happens, I try to remind everyone inside that what the cult told me was a lie, that they needed to silence me and all the other kids, but I'm not going to die if I talk, and they're not going to kill someone else if I talk. That's just them with their horrific threats and lies. And yes, we saw so much murder, and yes, they tortured us even more when we talked, when we were a kid, when we were a teen, when we were older, and we were still being tortured. But we're safe now, and they're not going to kill us. But if that won't calm down, then I try to write it out between whoever is getting really triggered inside me or is putting forth that programming message and with me. And so writing back and forth and going like, when did you hear that? Who told you that? What happened? And sometimes just them telling me and then my responding like, hey, that wasn't okay. And that was so cruel of them and horrific. And you're safe now. Sometimes that can help lower the anxiety and lower the messages. And sometimes just being able to tell someone safe, like my therapist, and then having her respond with compassion and empathy, that always cuts through the programming. Compassion, empathy, and love. I think cults underestimate that because they're coming from a place of hate. But love really cuts through hate and mind control messages, always, always. And so does compassion and empathy. And having that compassion, empathy, and love for yourself too, for the parts of you that had to take on the cult messages, that can help so much. When I started seeing that the parts of me who took on the the jobs that the cults gave them to hurt me inside or silence me, when I started to see that they took on those jobs to protect me, to protect all of us inside, to keep us alive, I started being less afraid of them. And then I started being able to have compassion and empathy for them. And when I was able to do that, they were able to soften a little bit too and to see like we're not enemies. And yes, what the cult did was a lie. But also talking with them over and over and over through the years also helped with my therapist and with myself, especially through writing, because that was my safe way. And those things all help me, and maybe they'll help you too.